I would never like bash, you know, him, but I will be real about my experiences with him because it's Kierradjackson and welcome back to another video. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button down below for our returning subscriber. As always, thank y'all for tuning back into me. And y'all, before y'all come for me, I know I need to go get my nails done. And I'm going to eat an orange because I'm hungry. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. I've updated you guys on my whole divorce process. I'm very happy about it. But I want to say, you know, one thing that I constantly say to people is like, I'm happy about my divorce. I'm glad that I'm leaving out of a situation that does not serve me. But who's proud of a divorce? Like, the freak. Today I want to talk about something that I feel like is important. And so what I'm talking about is, obviously, I don't care what relationship it is, everybody has to take some form of accountability for what has transpired. And so I can take accountability for my actions and what I did and what I contributed to the relationship. At the end of the day, like, everybody goes through things. Everybody is going to experience certain things. There's going to be arguing. There's going to be times where you say mean things. Like, those are things that I feel like just happens in relationships, unfortunately. But you know, there's never a time that I feel like, and I haven't really spoke about this on my channel that much, but I don't care what anybody says. There's never a reason for somebody to put their hands on you. And I knew this in my relationship. He knew this because he constantly apologized. He constantly said he would get it together. All these things. But like, he kept saying like he didn't know why he would, you know, beat me up. Like, he didn't know why. It's just like, for whatever reason, his first response was always to go physical. And what I realized is, like, now that I'm at the end, in which I'm not going to talk so much about my marriage because obviously I'm still going through the legal procedure. But what I am going to talk about is things that I have realized so far. And then all those other videos I'll post later. But like, I want to talk about what I realized so far and like some of the signs that I missed, especially like in the beginning. The first thing was like, this man was persistent. Like, he wouldn't take no for an answer. And believe it or not, throughout our whole entire relationship, it was this exact same way. Like, he would not take no for an answer. It didn't matter if I said, no, I don't want to go with you. It's that, no, babe, come on. Like, I'm not going if you don't go. We could go to the racetrack. And I'm like, I don't want to go this time. He wouldn't take no for an answer. It could be with sex. It could be with like certain things like he needed from me, in which he didn't have to worry about me really saying no anyway, because like, I genuinely want to do for people. Like, that's just something in me, and sometimes I overextend myself, and that's something I'm having to learn in the season. But also, like, some other red flags that I missed is that he didn't have a good relationship with his mom. Like, the way he talked about his mom was honestly disgusting. And I even have, like, videos on my phone, like, where, like, he just talking shit about his mom, or, like, text messages where he would talk stuff about his mom. And, I mean, he had valid reasons for things, but, like, I don't know, like, the way I deal with my parents is, I don't care what they do. I'm gonna state facts, but I'm not gonna talk shit. Like, that's just how I feel about them. Like, I'm gonna state what they did, but I'm never gonna be like, you know, my mom is the worst mom in the world, or my dad is the worst dad in the world, and nothing like that. Like, it's not something that I would do. But one thing that I realized that I overlooked as well is like, his father, which is not his bio dad, but the dad who raised him, the way he talked about the boy's mom, like, the way he talked about the boy's mom was, like, so disgusting. From the very first moment that I walked into his life, he degraded this woman. He talked down on this woman. Like, didn't even give me the opportunity to really get to see this woman for myself or learn about her. Like, it was just always, like, negative things, in which one day, maybe I'll share, because I actually have, like, videos and recordings of what some of the things that he said, especially, like, in the end of all this stuff, like, that he said about her. And because I know, like, people are going to deny it. If they come across this video, they're going to deny these things, but I literally have no reason to lie. And this was a very traumatizing time in my life, being in the midst of this stuff with these people. And, like, anyway, and he was so downing to my ex about his mother. Like, my ex would tell me, like, from the time that he was a kid, he always heard him down his mother, like, in such a degrading way, like, degrading her, talking down on her as if, like, she's the lesser parent. And now, obviously, he was adopted, quote unquote. And so, you know, he could have painted a picture to my ex in any way that he wanted to paint the picture to him. And so, but coming into this, I was only 22 years old when we got together and when we got married. Well, I was 21, I think, when we got together, but like 22 when we got married or something like that. But either way it goes, coming into this, like, I wasn't aware of these things. Like, I'm young, I'm vulnerable, like he is as well. So like we didn't really like see these things, but as time progressed, we started to notice like a trend within his parents, and like we started to realize like maybe the parent that is being painted out to be the bad person is not an actual bad parent. Maybe it's the opposite, and this parent over here is saying this because he want to take the light off of the things that he's doing wrong. And so like as we progressed throughout our marriage, we faced some challenges with that parent, and obviously like I love them wholeheartedly, like I did. Like we would notice things where like when I'm proud of us, or like they would say they was proud of us in front of people, but then like go around like telling lies. And my ex would be like he started getting like very like frustrated with his father about these things. And so like when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like I skipped all the red flags because he had been like mentally controlled by this man his entire life. And we talked about this, like he shared these things with me, and I'm not gonna get into like the things that he said to me because I wouldn't want his father or his mother to come across this video and learn some things about what he said about them or how he feels about them through my video. That's something that he has to take it with them at some given point. And I did express that to him, like, these are conversations that you need to have with them. But for me, I ignored the signs. Like, I ignored the signs. Like he would always say this thing, like you will always revert back to your highest level of training. And it's the same way as a child. If you never went through therapy and you never worked through your trauma, you never worked through things in your life, then you're going to revert back to what you were taught or what you saw growing up. And that's exactly what he did. He reverted back to exactly what he saw. So even at the end of our marriage or throughout our marriage, he did not know how to love a woman properly because he never had a woman in his life who he felt like truly valued him and loved him unconditionally. Therefore, the only women that he had in his life were women that he literally had some ill feelings towards, i.e. his mom being the first one. That was his first huge wound in his life. And then on top of that, all he ever saw was his dad degrading women. Maybe not like physically. I don't know about the physical aspect, but I know like mentally and emotionally and verbally, like, and financially. Like he would talk to me about these things. Like he said, I never want to be like my dad. But yet he wound up being exactly like him because you're going to revert back to your highest level of training. That's all he knew. If you're not going to take the proper steps to get the help that you need to be better, you're going to be just like them. And that's what wound up happening. Like he only ever saw his dad. He said he remembered in high school his dad moved one woman out, the other woman in right that night that he moved the same lady out. And even like the short time of 5 years that I was in the picture, like I was able to experience this and see this with my own eyes and hear it with my own ears too. Like how this man had never been married, didn't really have a desire for marriage, manipulating women. He had like this where he kind of belittled women in a sense. Like, and I remember my husband used to say like one time we was there and he would like say stuff like to me to do certain tasks. And my ex would like be like, she's not doing that. Like he was very big on me not doing like certain tasks that were kind of like dirty or like manly tasks, if that makes sense. So I would give that to him. Like he was trying to break away from those things, but like it's almost like those things have a hold on him. And when you don't know any different, you're just going to go along with what feels right or what feels familiar and comfortable. And so I feel like a lot of times like that's what happened. And so like even when as our relationship like went on and on and on, like he honestly lacked support from his family and from like the men in his family because he didn't really put much trust in them, because when he looked at them, he didn't see them as somebody he wanted to be like. Like he didn't have those examples in his life. Like he would say to me like, why would I go talk to my dad about the things that I'm struggling with as your husband or as a man here when I seen him do X, Y, and Z? Why would I go to church when he's one way at church, but then when we're at home, he never speaks to me about God, or he never lives out what he preaches? Like he would say things like that. And so it's like he lost trust in the men in his life at a very early age because they spoke one thing and did another, or they just didn't align with the type of man that he was striving to be. And therefore, like he struggled like very, very much. And I like, even to this day, I would never like bash, him him, but I will be real about my experiences with him, because I think that there are some valuable things to take on both ends. Like, even for myself, like, that relationship forced me to get into therapy. That relationship forced me to work on some of my traumas, forced me to work on myself. And so, like, throughout our marriage, I was actively working through those things. No, I was not perfect. No, I was no angel. Yes, I said some effed up stuff to him. I genuinely, like, I was striving to be the best woman, and anything that he needed from me, he never lacked. Like, there was nothing that he ever lacked with, and I personally think that he would be honest about that. I hope he would be honest about that at this given point, because I can honestly say, for a pro with him, like, I never lacked financially. Like, that man's gonna come through for me, and vice versa. Like, I'm gonna come through for him. Like, we had a lot of great things when it came to our marriage, but, like, when you have two young people who come from very broken homes, and, like, I'm more self-aware. I'm more of, like, the fixer and the one that tries to figure it out and read and study and ask questions and lean on my support. He's not that type, because, again, he was broken and left to not trust the people, like, that brought him into this world from a very early age. So therefore, like, if you can't even trust the people who brought you into this world, like, your trust for everybody else is very minimal. So, like, I don't really always understand it, but, like, I get it when I look at it from that aspect. And so you get, like, two young people together who are trying to create a better path or trying to create a different life for themselves, but yet they can't work through their own things, or they can't work through their own traumas. So you wind up shitting on the people that do care about you and love you the most. And, hey, I got shitted on. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, I know my love was genuine. I know what I brought to the table was real. And, you know, there was a lot to learn in that situation. And I pray that we, again, like I always say, get what we rightfully deserve, but also become, like, better people, and realize that just because this happened in a season of our life doesn't mean that we have to carry this into the next season of our life. We can be better people, and we can work towards being a better person and being different and breaking those generational curses, which was always the ultimate goal for myself. Can't speak for him, but that was the ultimate goal for myself. So moving forward, like, you know, these are just some of the signs or some of the things that I feel like I totally let, like go past me. And that could have definitely saved me a lot of heartache, a lot of trauma, and a lot of what I'm experiencing now to rebuild myself and to be better. Because I refuse to be what broke me. I refuse to be the people that hurt me. Like, I just refuse to be that. Like, and it's not the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. So I'm gonna get through it, and also with the favor from God, with my trust in God. Like, I believe God will bring you through anything. So anyway, so I just want to make this video real quick because it's on my mind, but I'm gonna hop off here, y'all. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and be on the lookout for more videos, because I want to do more videos on, like, narcissism, how I knew, like, I was dealing with the narcissist and somebody with a personality disorder, not just, like, narcissistic tendencies, because we all have those, but the personality disorder is a totally different thing. And I'm almost 99.9% sure he had a personality disorder. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, he checks all the boxes, and I hate that, because it wasn't something that he chose. It was a life that he was born into that created that struggle for him. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off here, y'all. Be on the lookout for more videos. And if you ain't following me already on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok, y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Toodle doodles.